Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about another one of my pet hates exercises that I wanted to share with you guys. So I will be speaking about pin squats, and this is in relation to CrossFit and weightlifting and its use for improving weightlifting capabilities and strength. Okay, so this is everything else disrespectful. This is just what my opinion is based on the sports that I do. Okay, so don't come at me. So let's start. What is a pin squat? This is a squat variation where you unrack the barbell in the bottom of your squat position, can be out of a rack or on spotter arms or blocks, and you squat the weight up. So this variation can be performed at any height, i.e. you can have it at the bottom of a squat, halfway up the squat, quarter squat, whatever you can do. This can be done where you unrack the weight at the top, squat it down eccentrically, pause when you reach the safety pins, maintaining tightness and control, then standing it back up. Good technique tip is when squatting down, don't let the bar make any noise when touching the pins, and that demonstrates a great level of control. So how do you perform a pin squat? So you descend as you would a normal squat. Your hips go back, knees go forwards and out, chest stays up, and you just lower down. Once you reach the pins, pause for like 1 or 2 seconds while staying tight during that phase. After the pause, drive through your legs and stand up. You can alternatively just rack it low, start at the bottom, stand up, then sit back down. Either way, the lowering part or like the eccentric part should be a really controlled eccentric movement. So you essentially start in the squatting position and stand back up. So if done properly, what is the point of a pin squat? So basically it should just reinforce good positioning by learning how to brace maximally and instantaneously, cheating you to have a proper drive out of the hole. It helps you work on your depth of your squats and can increase your leg strength. Essentially what a pin squat does is it eliminates any of the stretch reflex response that your body has. Now the best place to pause for a lifter with weak legs is in the hole, and a good positioning and mobility place is always a good place to start. So this exercise would seem to be a good variation because of the fact that you start in the bottom, you work on your mobility, you work on strength, like where can you go wrong? However, here is why I would never program or recommend pin squats for anybody. So fundamentally, you will never be able to mimic a normal back or front squat without actually doing a back or a front squat. So as I said, I will be talking about weightlifting and CrossFit in particular and what pin squats serve in that realm. Now, from what I've seen, pin squats are usually given to people who need to gain leg strength, which is I will talk about why I don't agree with that, but also most importantly, this is given to people who usually get pinned in a clean, i.e. you go to receive the clean and you don't receive the clean, you can barely stand it up, you're like trying to stand up, but you can't stand up. And they say that it is because of weak legs and then give you pin squats to rectify that. However, when we watch someone get pinned in a clean, this can be down to a few reasons, which are 1, weak legs. You simply don't have the strength to stand that weight back up. Now, this isn't as common as you might think, as if you're able to get the weight to your shoulders, the likelihood is you are able to stand it up. If you are a super lucky person who may be able to get under more weight than you can front squat, in which case you're super lucky and you just need to go away and get yourself some stronger legs, which I do have a free program which you can follow, which I will link up in the top right hand corner now. However, if you just aren't strong enough, I would just say focus on paused back squats or paused front squats and just a normal strength block. This takes time to develop. Be patient, be consistent, and it will happen. Strength is one of the slowest things to develop, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment, and really just periodized programming to make sure that you're doing everything right. However, if you just can't stand up a clean, you just need to work on your leg strength. Pin squats isn't the best way to do that. I think the best way to get stronger is just to do normal back squats, normal front squats, and all the leg accessory stuff that you can do alongside of that. I have a great program, as I said. Link will be up in the top right hand corner. Now, another reason that you may be getting pinned in your cleans is that you have a weak back. Now, a lot of people have strong legs and are able to back squat impressive weights, but still struggle with the clean. Now, in my opinion, this fault often gets mistaken for like poor mobility, which can be seen as like a rounding of the back or the elbows dropping forwards, when I actually see this as a key sign of important weakness in the upper back and core muscles and just your back in general. So if you are someone who looks like a shrimp when you're standing up, consider doing lots of core work, planks, hollow rocks, strict toes to bars, stuff like that, as well as back strengthening exercises, back extensions, back extension holds, bent over rows, lat pull downs, cable rows. Then paused front squats is where you can focus on keeping your back tight, keep your core engaged, keep your elbows up with lighter weights and higher reps, which should help you develop a more consistent movement pattern. Now, why do I suggest paused front squats instead of pin squats? Paused front squats will enable you to sit in a position where you can still hold tension in the bottom that you naturally find yourself. Pin squats, you're put into that position. You don't, like, the likelihood of you being able to replicate that in a clean is very unlikely, whereas a paused front squat, the chances of you being able to replicate that exact position in a clean are very, very high. So that's why I would recommend pause front squat instead of pin front squats. Now, the third reason that I see a lot of people have trouble with the clean is poor positioning. Now, poor positioning during the clean, which means that it basically crashes down on you. Now, this, in my opinion, is the most common cause for people programming pin squats. They think that you are missing your cleans due to reasons 1 and 2, i.e. weak legs and weak back, and that you're missing when in fact it is just a technical issue, meaning that the bar is crashing down on you, lands in the wrong place, and either you fold like a shrimp or the weight is all over the place so you can't comfortably stand it up. So if this is you, i.e. like if you slow down the video and see that there's about 4 miles between you and the bar before you catch it in the hole, then you need to focus on improving the timing in your clean. One way that I have really, really improved that is doing hang cleans, like for timing. Hang cleans are a good way to basically focus on, solely focus on where you're receiving the bar. And also pause cleans where you catch it where it lands and pause and squat down instead of diving into the hole to receive it. So that is my assessment and advice. Take it or leave it. I just think that most people who program pin squats, so people who get pinned in a clean, are wildly confused and mistaken about why you're getting pinned in a clean, and most likely it isn't due to the fact that you're too weak to stand it up. Most likely it's the fact that the bar is crashing down on you like a ton of bricks, and that is just going to wipe your energy and you're just not going to be able to stand it up at all. And it isn't a strength issue, it is a timing issue, a poor position issue, or a weak back issue. Something somewhere is going wrong that isn't just the strength of your legs. Now, I just want to say, this isn't to say that I hate pin squats. I do see their value and I can understand. What I do like about pin squats is obviously it's good for people who have joint pain, as removing that stretch reflex achieved with a squat will make a back squat or a front squat easier on everybody's knees. Alternatively, it can also be used as a squatting variation when pain or injury prevails and prevents you from full depth squats by limiting the depth precisely and avoiding the need to stop and change directions in the bottom position. So I do see their value. Therefore, if you are struggling with pain, this may be a good alternative for you. However, if you have any of the other problems discussed, I would follow the exercises that I suggest to help improve instead of a pin squat for all the reasons that I mentioned. I think that the most important thing to take away from this is that if you have been given pin squats before you have been doing paused back squats, paused front squats, eccentric front squats, all of the stuff that is just a squat, then you really need to be re-evaluating your life. This is just, as I always say on this channel, the further you get away from the actual exercise in question, the further away you are getting from being better at something, from getting better at that specific thing. Just bear that in mind, okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. If it did help you, please do give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel, or just give it a thumbs up for just, who doesn't love a controversial opinion? And I don't think this is too controversial because, let's be real, just hitting you with the truth, but hey ho. Thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome day, guys, an awesome training session, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.